All right. Let me turn this down. All right. Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, which you can see I got the brother Dawah with me. The spirit allowed us to come together once more to do this work. Going to another quick lesson. And you already know what it is. As always, the focal point being Bible prophecy. You know, for those of you out there who can dance to that song, who know the lingo, if you will. But, you know, for those of you out there who might be new to this style of teaching, right, you might encounter the Israelites, and in particular, the men here at Great Millstone, the prophets. Well, just know this is not the traditional way that the Bible has always been presented. And when I say traditional, you know, chiefly under the banner of Christianity and whatever denomination that might spring out of it, and whatever form of religion that goes back to really the Roman Catholic Church. Well, basically, they're part of the system. They're in harmony, if you will, with the beast. Now, you do have certain so-called Christians out there in the Bible Belt, right? They might teach sincerely. They might even speak on the Illuminati or expound on the Charagma, right? You know, certain outspoken pastors, if you will. Well, guess what? They're on the hit list too. They're on the FEMA kill list. But for the most part, when you consider these mega churches with these bugged out Christians, right? They're part of the beast, man. They was pretty much set up to keep you in further derision, to keep you asleep, to keep you at bay, right? But hey, real quick, do me a favor. I know this kind of on the fly. Look up Westernization. Because remember, you had Hellenization under the Greeks, Romanization with the Romans. Now you have Westernization, but what's the one common thread? Esau, the so-called white man, right? Under those different uniforms, yet he's pushing forth the same snare. Remember, he's the cunning hunter. So yeah, you got it.
Westernization refers to the process where a society adopts the customs, practices, and institutions considered characteristic of Western Europe culture, often including aspects like technology, politics, economics, and social norms.
Right. You see the influence of the whore throughout the world. When you go into the prophecies, what's that? Revelation, the 18th chapter, speaks about that golden cup in the hand of the whore. So the nations is under the vibration of the whore. What's that? Psalms, I want to say that Psalms 37, about that green bay tree. So the influence of the so-called white man has reached throughout the ends of the earth. Go ahead.
It says, which can be influenced by colonialism or globalization, leading to a shift away from traditional practices towards a more Western way of life. It says, key points about Westernization. Cultural impact. This process can involve adopting Western clothing, language, food, education systems, and even religious beliefs.
Right, and even religious beliefs. Now, was this just a simple?
Oh yeah, Kun is from the AI. I know.
Go to Wikipedia.
Kun.
Right. And like I said, the same thing. But I wanted to see if there was going to be a little more detail with the religion. Yep. Let's go back up right here. And we can start right there with westernization again at the top.
It says westernization. It says also Europeanization or Ossidian. Slovakia. It
That's a
says
mouthful right there. Obsidian. Look like Occident.
Occidentalization is a process whereby societies come under or adopt what is considered to be Western culture in areas such as industry, technology, science, education, politics, economics, lifestyle, law, norms.
Right. And this is how you know you're dealing with an empire. Because you have nations to pay tribute to that empire. You can have coexistent kingdoms or domains, but they pay tribute to the empire that governs over that particular land. Even when you go back to the Romans, they rule over the known land. Right? When the scriptures say they rule over all the earth, that don't mean that they reign extended over to America as of yet. That's dealing with the known part of the earth where they pretty much colonized and brought them under their tribute, which that word tribute goes back into taxes. So basically, it's framed as westernization, but again, it links up to what? Hellenization, well as Romanization, man. Was nothing more than a token of who's in power. Saying that the world is under their influence. And again, that go back to what we mentioned, Psalms 37. Continuing it up.
It says mores, customs, traditions, values, mentality, perceptions, diet, clothing. It says language, writing system, religion.
See, religion. Go ahead.
And philosophy. During colonialism, it's often involved the spread of Christianity.
Right. See, so that's the pitch. So that proves right there that if you subscribe to Christianity in whatever fashion, right? You're a Baptist or Methodist, whatever form of that ideology you spring from or derive from, it don't matter. You're all in association, in conjunction with the beast. Why? Because you contribute to the westernization of the people, man. They use that to colonize you. Now, when you go back into the history, they brutally forced that on the tribes, right? But now, when you look back in retrospect, you see the results, right? This is the wound from that continual stroke of oppression. You see the results. Now, people, they just cleave to it. See? But again, this is a major stumbling block because why? It keeps you asleep. And pretty much this whole system was set up to do so, right? That's why Esau is the cunning hunter. Real quick, I believe that's in the book of Psalms, the 10th chapter. It speaks about them laying snares, right? Because again, we know the characteristics of this character Esau, right? In this story. Besides the sword and him being bloodthirsty, he's a thief, right? besides those things, he's a cunning hunter, man.
Mm-hmm.
See? Come on.
This is Psalms chapter 10 and verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Mm-hmm.
In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent.
Right. The secret places of the villages goes into those secret councils, those meetings. Right. You just had the Davos meeting. That was a summit meeting, man. You had some of the top economics. You had some of the top scientists, witches and warlocks. I forget the one guy name, but he's real heavy into evolution. He was at the Davos meeting, man. Right? And we know evolution is nothing more than what? Esau's attempt for immortality. See? So the lurking places of the villages, that's those secret meetings. Right? The scripture speaks about those dens. Matter of fact, that's the next verse. You can continue up.
His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Mm-hmm.
He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Right. And again, that den represents those councils, man, where they concoct these elaborate schemes to really wage war against Israel. Come on, Al.
He lieth in wait to catch the poor.
Right. And if you're paying attention, right, this goes right back to Lazarus and the rich man. See, that proves the story the story changed in a sense of the delivery. That's why, for an example, when you read Matthew the 13th chapter, when Yahushua speak concerning the kingdom, he compared it to a lot of different things. He said the kingdom of heaven is likened to a woman who lost a corn. And she saw, right? And then he said, in the next one, the kingdom of heaven is like, right? A woman who made 3 cakes or something, you know, paraphrasing. So that's how this story is told. But it's the same story. Lazarus and the rich man. So the science behind Israel being referred to as the poor is to obviously by default make the predator, the wicked, the rich. But ultimately, it shows you who's in power. See? So you can't get around this. This is concerning the powers that be, man. And we just went into westernization. So that's a global influence. So the rich must be the so-called white man. Continue on.
He doeth catch the poor.
Yep.
When he draweth him into his net.
See, when he draweth him into his net. And that net is really the system. And really, it's going to be climaxed with what? The Karagnum, man. Right? That's going to be the end game. Because he already drew you in. Now he's going to pretty much hit you with that all, right? That digital all. So the net been laid. We was touching on that briefly at camp. When you go back to President Woodrow Wilson, I believe it was like in 1918, he was already speaking concerning the future. He said, yeah, in the future, we're going to bring a pledge system to the earth. Right? It's going to be a bio system. In which a pledge system goes back to what? If you don't have nothing to pay, then we own you. And that go back to what? The digital all. You see, so the masses of the people is already in that net. They in that snare. But, you know, the water Yahweh what's that?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that Psalms 1:7 or Proverbs 1:7?
Oh, Proverbs, yeah, yeah,
that's the spirit, right? It's really leaning right into the lesson because this system, that net, was set up to compromise you, right? You're not going to be aware of the evils, even if one told you they was coming, right? Hey, and that's the case. Here it is, the prophets is diligently telling you about the evils, and you still can't compute it or internalize it. that means you're in a very deep, deep sleep, man.
Mm.
You ready for the taking. You're unaware, right, of the snares. Come on,
Con, this is Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 17. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Yeah, read that again.
Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
Right. So that net, that snare, that gin, that trap, which was laid by who? Esau. How we know it's Esau? Because Esau is a cunning hunter. Well, that snare, that net that was spread, it was spread in our sight. Right? And that shows you the importance of the instincts. What's the ears to hear? That's your ears for they hear and your eyes for they see. Why? Because we can see the pitfalls and the snares and the traps that really the Most High is laying, but it's through his left hand, Esau, man. Real quick, let's see what that word sight give you. And if you got something, you can bring it out.
Okay. That word sight, Strong's H 5869. Ayin, it says eye, a physical eye, as showing mental qualities.
Right. It says eye. It says a physical eye, right? So we can physically see it as well. Which that word ayan is actually an eye. Right? Well, that word eye, it looks like an eye. With the Hebrew characters. So with the physical eye, we can see, right? We can see the infrastructure. It's like when we walk into these, like you walk into a CVS or whatever, you can see the checkout, the self-checkout, and you filter it through prophecy. It's like you viewing it from, which we are. We watching life through another channel. See, so we can physically see these things, right? We physically see, for an example, this guy Trump, him and Putin, they supposed to have this peace talk in Saudi Arabia. They might have already had it. But I know it was either this week or next week or something like that. But that's 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, man. Though they say peace and safety, right? So with the physical eye, we can see, we can see it. But as you read on, it says, as showing mental qualities, right? So our reasoning. Continue, Art.
It says of mental and spiritual faculties.
Yeah.
Figurative spring fountain. Let's see. Down in the Strongs, it says an eye, literal or figuratively, by analogy, a fountain as the eye of the landscape.
Right. And you see again, it says, you can look at this word from a literal or figuratively sense, which we do because, right, we might look at, when we look at a lot of these words from a metaphorical sense, that's the spirit operating. See? But also physically. Come on, Art.
It says outward appearance before. Lead out. That's pretty much.
Yeah, that look like that's pretty much it.
I got something real quick.
Come on.
Just going back to having those mental faculties to see. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And if I may, we see the traps and snares that this devil has set up, but Jake are so asleep, they're going to walk right into it. As you mentioned, the charagma The infrastructure is already set up for this thing. So when he finally sets that trap that you have to take this to continue, they're gonna end up falling into it. But we see that trap. We're not ignorant to his plot, schemes, and purposes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's heavy. Really, everything here contributes to the people not seeing. Right? What's that? That's 2 Corinthians 4.
Okay. Yep.
Can we get that one real quick since you're there?
Okay.
Because again, this man, he's set up right he's the gateway to death. He's the sword. So why would he promote life? Why would he be the one on the end of warning you? No, he's going to be the very one that facilitate, right? The snares and the pitfalls, the traps.
Mm-hmm.
See? Oh, we were speaking about that. I believe it was at camp or even in the live sitting, is how this man pretty much is almost like he organically produced pride, right? You was conditioned to think proudful under this man's watch, unknown to you or not. Case in point, we brought this example up. Remember the sitcoms or like a TV show, and they'll say, see you next week, same time, same place. Right? That's proud. That's against the scriptures. Right? Scriptures tell you, if thou wilt, say, Lord willing, whether we continue in a city or a town for a day or whatever time in the future. Right? But it's naturally pushed. You first come up in this society, they condition you to be proud. Right? Next week, see you next week.
Okay.
Right? You got a 5-year plan. That's an example of Esau and his very presence being set up to kill you. See? Come on.
Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Right. Click on that word lost real quick.
Okay.
Because this gospel is hid. The masses of the people, they don't take to this word, man.
Strong's G6, it's like a Strong's G622. It says to destroy, to put out of the way entirely, abolish, put to a ruin. Get to the point. It says to declare that one must be put to death.
Right, to declare that one must be put to death. So if you can't wrap your mind around the gospel, if this gospel is hid unto you, then that means the Lord set you aside to put you to death, man. See? You must be put to death. And the validation is the fact that you couldn't subscribe to it, you couldn't dance to this song. Right? You couldn't subscribe to this form of teaching. That's the catalyst. That validates the Lord putting you to death. So let's go back up.
Okay. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Right. To him who must be put to death. See? Go ahead.
In whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not.
Right. So the reason why you don't believe is because the God of this world. And who is the God of this world? Esau, man. So this whole system was set up to snare you. Go ahead.
Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Right. So Esau blocks you from this information. He don't have to physically be standing in between you and the prophets, right? Shielding you off. No, it's seared in your conscience. And we speaking predominantly to you tribes, you Israelites. You hold fast to you got a sentimental connection with Esau, man. Whether it's through the religion, so-called Christianity, the hopes and dreams that this man have laid out for you to desire, whatever it might be, it proves to be a stumbling block. It keeps you at bay. You're not willing to commit to this form of teaching. As the brothers just read, the glorious light of the gospel can't shine unto you, man. See? So this system was set up to destroy you. Matter of fact, let's prove that real quick. Out. Go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus 9, I want to say. Yep, Ecclesiasticus 9. In 13.
Okay. Sirach chapter 9 and verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill.
Right. And that's concerning Esau, man. So we are not to conform, or what's that, Romans 12?
Mm-hmm.
Be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So this is going to benefit you, right? These sittings, being endowed with the Spirit, being built up, edified in Yahweh Shah, that pretty much serves as an anchor. It holds you down so that you're not taken by these winds of philosophy and drawn right back to the grave, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you read the book of Micah, it's referred to as the cauldron, that pot, right? I believe that's Micah 2. Fillet their skin and cast them into the cauldron. That's like a boiling pot. See? So if you're not rooted and grounded in Yahweh Shah, then you're going to be right back linked to Esau. Matter of fact, real quick, go to, we're going to come back here. What's that? Is that Wisdom of Solomon 13?
How does it go, Elder?
It speaks about being joined to the pitch or something like that.
Oh, okay. Might be Sirach 13.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, I believe you're right. Sirach 13.
Khan. Yep. Sirach chapter 13 and verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Right. So that touching is what? Connecting with. What we read, this is a parable, man. And it has prophetic elements. This is prophetic. Right? Because are we not in a heavy time? You're damn right. We're in a time where the Lord is set to pour out his fury, his judgment without mixture, man. And that process is going to climax with World War III. Right? So these are warnings. Read that again.
He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Go ahead.
And he that hath fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him.
Right. And that proud man being Esau. So if you associate yourself with this man, or in other words, touch pitch, right? If you conform to this man and his ways, then you're going to be defiled. And once you're defiled, then you're going to be cast away. You're going to pretty much die the death of Esau. That's why the scripture said, he that have fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. So you're going to receive the same judgments that the Lord have laid up for Satan and his angels. Right? What's that? I believe that's Revelation. Salaki. I believe I think that's Matthew 26.
Okay.
You know exactly what that one at?
Let me see. Speaks on that fire. Let me see. I think it's toward the end.
You know what? I can find it.
Slut.
All right. It's 25. Matthew 25.
25.
Yep. Yeah, and it's toward the end, around the 40th verse.
This is St. Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them,
Matter of fact, go straight to the point, the 41st verse.
verse 41. St. Matthew 25 and 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire.
Into everlasting fire. Now these Christians, they'll get spooked. They'll think that this talking about hell, right? In the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Prepare for the devil and his angels.
Prepare for the devil and his angels. That everlasting fire is the destruction, man, that was prepared for Esau, man. You see? So that's why we just read in Sirach, the 13th chapter, he who toucheth pitch or who have fellowship with a proud man shall be likened unto him. Meaning what? You're going to experience the destruction that was prepared for Esau.
Mm-hmm.
See? Yep, so we can go back.
Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13 and verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Let's go back to where we left off for that one.
Sirach 9.
Yep.
Sirach chapter 9 and verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that have power to kill.
Right, see? So don't touch him. Touch not pitch. And again, this warning emanates, it transcends even to this very moment, man. Mm-hmm. Really, the warning cry is to not associate yourself with this place. At least you're going to be destroyed right with it. See? What's that, 2 Corinthians? I want to say that 2 Corinthians 6. Come out from among them, my people. Matter of fact, get that one real quick. Hey, because the Lord coming to get Eve, man. But he placed the 2/3 right here. And they're going to be collateral damage in a sense, because really they're going to be paying for their trespasses as well. Because you got to keep in mind, Yahushua only shed his blood for the elect, man. Those are the only spirits who are going to be counted worthy to see the salvation of Yahushua, man. The 2/3 will eventually be put to death. The 17th verse, be the 17th or 18th.
Yep, that's it. 2 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 17. Mm-hmm. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord.
See, and touch not the pitch. Meaning you shouldn't be making an alliance with Esau. Now the scriptures say we use the world. Hey, because this truth can snare you, man. You get over righteous. You just go off the grid. Right? Yeah. You're going off, man. Scripture say do good unto thyself. Now, even when they make this thing digital, that don't mean that that's your cue to exit. Right? You can still deal with debit cards, but once they move into that phase of implanting you, impregnating you, that chip, then that's when you have to resist. See? But a lot of people are going to be taken, right? Because they already in the net. We read that in Psalms 10. Mm-hmm. So they trust in this system. They're going to proceed forth with it. And ultimately, they're going to make their alliance with Esau. But you see here where the scriptures encourage us not to do so. Read that again.
Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate.
Right. Separate yourself from this place, man. But it starts right here with your reasoning. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
Right. And that pretty much mirrors what we just read in Sirach, the 13th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
He who toucheth pitch
Mm.
shall be defiled therewith. So yeah, we can go back up.
Sirach chapter 9 and verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death.
Right. And we know, again, the man who had power to kill is Esau, man.
Mhm.
Why? Because he's in power. And furthermore, his blessing is the sword, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It says, and if thou come unto him, make no fault,
Mm-hmm.
lest he take away thy life presently.
Right. You come unto him. That means you join with him.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares.
You're going in the midst of snares, man. So under this man's watch lies pitfalls and traps. And again, the people is already taken, man.
Mm-hmm.
The drama that the Lord got unfolded is gonna suddenly, it's gonna snare you people unaware, because you snared. You already been taken by Esau's reality. You know, versus us believers, we have been given insight, you know. So we wouldn't be snared, as the brother read in Proverbs 1 and 17.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Art.
And that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
Right. And that's why you need the armor of the Most High, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because you walking upon the battlements of the city. Meaning what? This whole system is a resistor. When you go into the concept of wrestling, as the scripture said, we wrestle not with flesh, is a resistance.
Mm.
You see, it's a time where you're going to be faced with a lot of adversity, right? The cards will be stacked against you, if you will. There will be oppositional forces. And the only way one can withstand, again, they have to be clothed with Yahweh Shah. And that's why it's likened to what? The armor of the Most High. So you got anything up? So let's pull up that article what we had.
Okay. This is from
I'm looking at that word right there, upend. Upend life. Come on.
Okay. This is from political.com. The incredible, world-altering black swan events that could upend life in 2025. 15 futuristic foreign policy analysts and other prognosticators provide some explosive potential scenarios for the new year.
Right. And even that that title with, you know, the whole black swan concept, that goes into prophecy, man. Because, matter of fact, see if you can click on that. If they'll let you click on that phrase, black swan.
Let me see.
Yeah, probably put meaning or something like that.
Black swan, it says a mainly black swan. Okay. Second definition, it says an unpredictable or unforeseen event.
Right. See, an unpredictable or unforeseen event. Go ahead.
Typically one with extreme consequences.
Right. So, yeah, the key word there is unseen, because we know prophecy is likened to eyes, ability to see. Right?
Yeah.
So you people not gonna be able to pick up on
Mm.
the reasoning why things is transpiring or why the momentum is headed in a certain direction. You people don't understand why, you got digital, right? Currency, the infrastructure is being laid out.
Mm-hmm.
Just think it's just another
Hmm.
step in, you being a damn Babylonian or just this American experience. Now, understanding is dire consequences because when you read Revelation, the 14th chapter, it speaks about the offense of taking the chip,
Hmm.
the penalty that comes with it. So we can go back up, which is a lot in this article,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to read it, but there's a few pressure points. I mean, we're not going to read it all. There's a few pressure points we want to kind of touch. If you could pull the one where it's talk about the power outages.
Okay.
Now, if there's other things in there that jump out to you, you want to speak to, you got it.
Okay. It says it's a lot. Okay. It says loss of power
Hmm.
will fundamentally upend American life. Michelle Lee is the founder and CEO of Clever Carbon, which helps raise carbon literacy, and the founder of nonprofit organization Women in Climate. Energy security is cause for a major black swan event in 2025. As AI continues to pick up steam, greener pastures for crypto unfold, digital consumption accelerates, and we see a full economic recovery post COVID. There is no question that the energy demands will soar in 2025.
Right, and that's another example of the people not being aware.
Mm-hmm.
They just believe that you're going to have power. It's just this unlimited source of power that keeps you niggas phones charged up. No, they leaning on the power grid.
Mm.
Oh, and furthermore, and which that was another. It was in the same article. They was speaking about the cyber attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Is on up in this very article, man. You see,
Mm.
which if you paying attention out there, they've been trying to preserve a lot of that power
Mm-hmm.
on certain freeways. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
hit 65 South, it's dark as hell, man. All of the damn street lights is out.
Okay.
Come on,
If I may, Elder,
yeah, come.
I seen a news story. Well, not a news story, but basically people reporting on their power being out in certain places in Georgia, and certain places in Michigan, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all due to the tariffs being put on Canada
Oh
because
yeah,
they.
see?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you got it. I'll go ahead.
Focus like it. They feed they actually feed power down toward these certain regions here in the United States. And that guy threatened that. He's like, if you get these tariffs, we're bound to cut the power off. You know, that's another aspect of energy security, which the Bible prophesied about.
Mm-hmm.
Egypt players from Egypt as before.
What's
You
that?
know. Mm-hmm.
17.
Oh,
No, I'm thinking about Sirach. I mean, Wisdom of Solomon.
oh,
17.
oh, oh, yeah, yeah, kind. Oh,
Matter of fact, can you get that one too?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and yeah, speaking of Trump, man, hey, and Tawadi, how about Shema Shah for putting him in office, man?
Okay.
Because he's really, which all of these world leaders is no different, but he's really working on behalf of prophecy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But he hit Canada with those tariffs, And that goes back into Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter. An unwise king destroyed his people. So through that act, if that's the case, right? If that's the ripple effect, because it could very well be that. That could be a part of it. Let's just say hypothetically that's what's going on. Then that would be Trump. That would be still the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Unwise king destroying his people. Here it is. These people with tariffs, and they pretty much control or have a say-so in your power grids. Come on.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17 and verse 1. For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred.
Right, because the people, they can't understand the judgments. Why? Because they're unnurtured souls. Versus those of us who are eating of the lamb. We getting those nutrients. Our outlook on things is centers around prophecy, man. The testimony of Yahweh. Come on.
It says, for when the unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses and prisoners of darkness and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay their exile from the external providence.
Right. So it's going to be a time of darkness here, man. Right. That's one of the many plagues. As you mentioned, I shall smite Egypt with plagues. Matter of fact, was that second Ezra 16 or 15?
Second Ezra.
And we could go back here too.
Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 11. It says, I'm going to start at verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. If I may, this is talking about spiritual Egypt, because you go on in the next verse, it says that the foundation will be smitten with the plague and the punishment of Yahweh Shah, but we know that ultimate plague is going to be those thermonuclear missiles. Egypt is still standing to this day, but the Lord said he's going to bring out his elect with smiting Egypt with plagues as before. And as we go into, one of those plagues was the blackout,
Yep. And also that word before. Right? Chronologically, you know that this is after. So spiritual Egypt, Revelation 11 chapter, will be visited by the Most High again, man. Right? So we can go back.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, for while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Right. So the Most High, he got control over even your perceptions, your thoughts. You can see things. God control apparitions, man. Prove that when you read Luke, the 24th chapter. Scriptures tell you how they thought that they supposedly saw a ghost. When they saw Yahweh Shah, they let you know right there that you have spirits. You see? And the Lord is in control of them. Go ahead.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear.
Right. So you sprawled up in a corner, and that couldn't even keep you from the fear. Go ahead.
But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance.
Go ahead.
No power of the fire might give them light.
Read that again.
No power of the fire might give them light.
Right. So you're not going to have any light. It's going to be gross. It's going to be thick darkness out here in Babylon, man.
Mm-hmm.
And no power of the fire is going to be able to give you light. You got a flashlight or right, that's not going to help you. Go ahead.
Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
See that? So that's going to be one of the plagues, like the brother mentioned, that happened in ancient Egypt. And it makes sense because this place is fueled by power. But understanding Yahweh Shema Shine, the fear of the Lord, it's all it takes is a switch. That's in the spirit, right? Walk in the house. You don't have to go through no rigorous, right, dumping coal and kind of crazy shit. No, you just walk in and flip the light, man. That's the Lord showing you how quick it can go, you know? And again, you Americans, you're going to be taking it. Everything's going to be sudden because Yahweh Shema Shine, that's how he move, man. Suddenness. See? Matter of fact, I believe it's Isaiah. Is that Isaiah 30? Speaks about might be 30 or 31. It speaks about that swelling.
Oh, the Hawal Khan. Yeah. Ooh. Isaiah chapter 30.
Hey, the Lord deal with the element of surprise, man. See? So that's why this truth is likened to a rock. Remember Yahweh Shai said that. Yahweh Shai said, look now, when those winds come through, see, if you ain't built on that house, because it's going to come suddenly, man. And the wind, when you consider winds, they flare up. I remember, being on a roof, like, doing the construction. I remember being on one of the biggest roofs down here. And the Lord brought it to my attention. I was on the roof. And then a wind gusted up. I was right at the edge. And the wind gusted up on me. And in the spirit, I said, damn, the Lord could easily just push me over, man. He could send a wind. It don't have to rear up. He could just suddenly send a 15-mile-per-hour wind right at that moment and hit me just enough, But the wind was gentle. And it made me, the spirit it opened my mind. I was like, I gave thanks to Yahweh Shema. I was like, you know what? That's the Lord showing me having mercy, man. He could easily send a gust of wind and take me over the top. But the wind was gentle, It let me know it was there. And the mere fact that I pondered about it, that let me know it was spiritual, man. But again, like Yahweh Shai said, if you're not rooted and grounded, when those winds, those turbulent winds of prophecy come through, you're going to be swept out of there. Come on,
Khan, this is Isaiah chapter 30. I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel.
You know what, start at the 9th verse, and we'll close up. We'll build up to the point.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
Now, when you go into that word law right there, the Hebrew word there is tawa ra, and one of the definitions is body of prophetic teachings. So when the scriptures say this is a rebellious people, lying children, which translates to whatever doctrine outside of this truth. If you don't have the truth, that means you're a liar, right? But the scriptures say they will not hear the law of the Lord. That's pertaining to this lifetime. They will not hear the prophetic teachings. They will not embrace the concept of World War III. They wouldn't concede to the MOTB being a C-hip. That's an example of them being lying children who will not hear the law of the Lord. So that's concerning his lifetime. Come on, Art.
It says, which say to the seers, see not,
Mm-hmm.
and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things,
Yep.
speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits.
Right. And that's concerning now, man. As touching the ministry. And you know what proved it? We don't need nobody to tell us. We experienced it.
Mm.
We experienced people saying, nope, tell us smooth things. Now, they might not say it in that fashion, right? Word for word. But when they say, why won't you build up the brothers, or
Yeah.
go out to the hood? Let's hear inspirational word. We didn't heard all that, man. I remember we was on 5 Point South. I don't know if you remember the Jake. He had the Edomite woman or the perceived to be Edomite woman.
Mm.
And they used to be eating at times at the outside they'll eat outside of this certain restaurant, which they closed that shit down now in the spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Black market.
Okay.
They had the outside patio, and we'd be out there teaching and preaching, man. And this one dude, he got fed up. He said, man, won't you guys go let me and my girl eat, man? Won't y'all just speak about why y'all got to be talking about death? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an example of the people saying, prophesying to us. Come on.
Okay. It says, get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us.
And they want this to go away because this is a representation of Yahweh Shah. So now people reject this word in any capacity, whether it's combative or it's subtly, well, it's all the same. They pretty much rallying behind the idea of the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shah ceasing from before them. Get out of our way with that. Come on.
Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word.
Click on that word despise real quick.
Okay. That word despise, Strong's H 39, it's like 3988. It says to reject, despise, refuse. To reject, refuse, to despise, to be rejected.
Right. Refuse, right? If I'm selling you something and you refused it. I'm gonna tell you how alarming, man. It's scary, man. You know what they reject? Scriptures, right? The white stone represents clearance, being cleared. You know what proved that they rejected that white stone? Because Yahweh Shai likened the ministry, the doctrine, to a pearl. That pearl is that white stone. That's why he said, cast not your pearls to swine. So when we teach, that's Yahweh Shai saying, here go a white stone. Now, when you go into the history of the white stone, you go into the Roman Empire, which Yahweh Shai, when you read Revelation, I want to say that's the second chapter. The Lord said he would give you a white stone that represents clearance, being pardoned. And the reason why he was using that lingo, because in that time in the Roman Empire, if you went to court, right, you have peers, and the one who don't clear you, they'll put the black stone. But if you was cleared, they'll put a white stone up, and the more white stones you had, it cleared you. So when Yahweh Shai said, I'll give you a white stone, he was saying, look, I'll clear you. So what's the white stone? How is it extended? Is in the form of the doctrine, man. That's the pearl of great value. But you see this definition, they refused it, man. See? Let's read into these Strongs.
It says to spurn. It says to disappear, abhor, cast away, cast off, contemn, despise, disdain, become loathsome or loathe, melt away,
that's the scripture.
Mm.
Because they have loathed my
Mm.
law when they had yet time of liberty,
Okay.
but they despised it, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it right there.
Okay.
So we can go back.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression
Right, you
and
trust Esau.
Hmm.
That proves that there's talking about this lifetime, man.
Mm-hmm.
You trust in the captivity and whence you were sent.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
And perverseness,
And perverseness, go ahead.
and stay thereon.
Right, you don't budge. You saying I'm not gonna budge.
Hmm.
I'm gonna stay right here. I'm not following. What's that? Jeremiah 6. Stand ye in the way and ask for the old path.
Mm-hmm.
They said we were not. See, so they
Hmm.
standing on business, man. They stand right here. Go ahead.
Good. It says, therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall,
Mm-hmm.
swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
See, who's breaking coming suddenly
Mm.
at an instant, man. And that's how the people, and mainly you Israelites, because you're gonna feel the brunt of the judgments that was prepared for Satan and his angels, as we read in the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Hmm.
But what's the point? That drama gonna come suddenly, man. Verses up. See, the wind's coming regardless. That's what you got to remember about that parable. When Yahweh said, build on the stone, on the foundation, on him, on the rock, the scriptures. Right? He never said the wind wasn't coming. The wind coming. But it's gonna be so scarce to where only a remnant would be left after the shaking. And everybody else is gonna be taken, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord, man, look, it's gonna come suddenly, real quick. Let's close. Let's look at that word. All right?
Okay.
See if it gives you some.
Strong's H 6597.
Mm-hmm.
It says suddenly, surprisingly, suddenness.
Suddenness. Yeah, and that word surprisingly, that's best suited for this modern time, I guess.
Mm.
Right? Surprise.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it come, man. And you people, you're not stable mentality-wise. You're not mentally tough enough to deal. Hey, that's why we had to come into this truth and be hardened.
Oh yeah.
Right? We had to be hardened. Oh, I was looking at when you had this little Issacharite. It was really a sad story, man. It was an Issacharite little girl, and they was teasing her at school, saying that her family gonna be deported. Right? I don't know if they spooked her. They had her really think that they were gonna be deported, and she killed herself, man.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Damn.
I know you wasn't expecting to hear that, you know. Right? But
Ooh.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you know, so she wasn't stable, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the condition of all you people out there without Yahweh Shah. Right? We often go into that word, what's that in Luke 21?
Perplexity.
Yep, perplexity, man.
Mm.
See? So there's a science behind coming into this arena and being briefed. And we mentioned it earlier, is likened to the armor of the Most High. You are being equipped in the spirit, right? You have been given the proper mindset to stand in this evil day, man. See? So that's it on my end. You got anything else?
Bye.
Hey, so with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believe us. To the next time, shalom.
Shalom.